All right. Once again, I'm the resident of Collinwood, and this is John Phillip BettonCourt, and my Kindle decided to be a bitch. But seriously, it literally just cut out on me like a couple different times. I'm like, what the hell is it doing? I'm just like looking down. I'm like, uh, go ahead, man. Um, we were talking about Barnabas and how Carolyn and him came full circle of this. We're gonna have to start all over. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Do you want to just ask the first question, or?
Yeah, here's my first question. Bringing them full circle like that with, uh, like the way you started this series 11, with Carolyn and Maggie, sort of reminiscing about Barnabas. Was that always the like them coming full circle? Was that a big deal for those three, like the women?
Well, it was a big deal for the four women in
Right.
Barnabas's life. So I wanted to bring in uh, Victoria, Maggie, Carolyn, and Julia. So all of the four have different relationships with Barnabas. Some good, some bad. Maggie is very bad. She has a very dark memory of him. Carolyn, of course, has sort of, I would say, mostly good, even though in my series, my 11 series of, or my volumes, she sort of has a bad relationship. But on the show, she sort of has a good relationship with him. She doesn't really know much about his secret too much later.
Right.
Julia, of course, knows the secret, but sort of we all know that she's sort of in love with him. So there's all these different avenues that could go for Barnabas and the relationship with those four women in his life. There's a fifth woman, Angelique, too. She definitely has a bad relationship with him. So all of that combined, I wanted to each one of them have a moment to say goodbye to him in a certain way. And the beginning sort of sets the tone for the rest of it. You can totally tell that there's going to be a change in the relationships with all of the women in his life and Barnabas from the very beginning.
Does with all these like relationships going on, you touched on so many in this, which I love, because you have Barnabas, you have Maggie, you have Carolyn, like you said, Angelique. But I love what you did with Angelique here. You took Angelique and you made her good. You sort of gave her sort of a happy ending. So I know we talked about that, but walk me through that,
No, that's
man.
fine. Yeah, so and like we said, like we were talking about earlier, Angelique, for the most part, all she's ever wanted in her whole life is to be loved, and Barnabas is that person. She was in love with Barnabas for forever. She doesn't always go about the right way of getting love from
But,
somebody. She
right,
always thinks she has to be somebody else. She has to be, she pretends to be other people a lot of times because she doesn't believe that the person that she's in love with will love her for who she is. And my inspiration for that was with from the show when she was married to Sky Rumsford, or is it Rumsfield? I forget now.
it's Sky Rumfield, I believe.
Rumfield, yeah. So when she's married to him, I really felt that the character Angelique, when she was married to him, was really, really happy. I believe that she really was happy. And then, of course, all this shit starts happening to that character, and she has to like pull out of her quote unquote normal life and start helping, Barnabas and Carolyn during the Leviathan stuff. But it sort of disrupts her happiness. And so I felt, okay, well, Angelique seemed very happy when she was supposedly more of a more normal and human-like. Maybe that's what she's wanted all her life, is just to be normal and have a husband and be happy. So if that's her motive, how would I get her there? And sort of, there's this big process of her losing a lot of her powers, which in a way she doesn't really. She does fight it in the beginning, but I think towards the end of series 11, she sort of is fine with it and decides, you know what? If this means that I can be with Curtis, then this means I can be with Curtis. Like I'm going to give my powers to Alex full throttle and just move on with my life. And hopefully Curtis will be there with her, and he does. He does love her for who she is, even though she's done some terrible things.
I do love what you did with Curtis here. Curtis sort of he understands. He's seen Curtis is somebody. A lot of these characters have seen a lot of shit go down, but you know,
Definitely.
that's no exaggeration, huh? Like
Not at all.
Curtis has seen a lot of shit, and I love how he just throws it in his own mom's face. Like, you did shit too. Like, I love that.
Totally, totally. Well, the thing about Curtis is he isn't. He wasn't really raised in Collinsport. You know, he's a funny character because I basically brought him back as an adult, and he was raised in some other time. You know, Victoria came and kidnapped him as a baby. If we would go way back to series 7, or I'm sorry, series 6, you know, she was a villain. Victoria was a villain, and she
Right.
kidnapped a child, and she raised him, and with her time travel, she time travels with him, and she raises him, switches him. It's a big baby switch thing, blah blah blah. Well, he comes back as an adult, and he wasn't raised with all of these really supernatural things going on in his life. He was raised pretty normal, even though his mom's a time traveler. But he finds that out much later in his life. So he comes back as an adult, and he's pretty normal. He just wants to, work with the family and kind of get to know them. And as things progress, his secret is revealed to him, and a lot of things, that he was switched at birth and all this stuff. And it becomes kind of like this kind of like cloak that he wears, sort of like he knows the truth, but he doesn't really give onto it. So he knows of all these terrible things that have happened in his family, and to see the woman that he loved being sort of persecuted for things that other people have done too, he 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 wants to be sure that everyone is realizes that no one here is a saint. No one in this house has done all good. We've all done some terrible things in our lives, and to put that up in his mom's face is a big moment.
For sure. I really, they both clicked. I think Curtis and Angelique really did click. And I really love the transition of series 10 where you have this big battle between Alexander and Angelique, and by series 11 it's all sort of just calmed down, but not right away, but you sort of have this sort of cat and mouse with Angelique and Victoria and enter Dominique. And I love how you made Dominique a spirit, and we didn't know it until boom, you just drop it on us.
I didn't know it
Right.
from the beginning. I knew that she had a secret. I just didn't know what it was until I wrote it. Really.
It's one hell of a secret for sure. When I was reading, I was like, "Oh, but I got it." Like, here's something, and I'm sure I've told you this. Like, you make it really easy to understand. Like I said, when you take us there. So
Mm-hmm.
when I read that, I'm like, holy shit, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that made sense. So
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, so I write all the chapters in advance. So I write them all up, and then I think about tweaking things and switching things around. And so, like, I'll write 3 or 4 in a row, and then I'll fix things. And so it just wasn't feeling like I still hadn't figured out what her secret was going to be, and what her connection to David was going to be. And I didn't know, like, and then of course I brought in her brother, and I didn't know how that was going to work out. I wanted to make sure that there was a conflict somehow, but I didn't know what it was. And when I figured out that I was going to make her a ghost, I had to go back and rewrite things because no one else could see her. She can only be seen by Victoria. So if you read it again, you'll notice that she has no contact with anyone except her brother and Victoria. Everybody else doesn't even don't even realize that she's in the room.
I
She's
did.
when they're outside. When there's a scene where Angelique is there. Oh, Angelique sees her too. So Angelique sees her.
Right.
They're outside, talking, but she goes back into her room and nobody even knows she's existing. And people ask like, "Who? I didn't see her."
Right. I definitely saw that when it was just like the three of them seeing her. Did you? I know I asked this when we just first did this, but
That's okay. No, don't worry about it. We'll pretend it didn't happen.
right, right. Gabriel, does Gabriel feel responsible for her? Not necessarily her death, but her, like, Gabriel's life or Dominique's life in general.
Yes, because Gabriel is. So what Gabriel is, he's sort of the. I always like to put up a dark and a light character, someone who's good, someone who's bad, but like not just good, but like seriously good, like someone who's angelic almost compared to Barnabas. Barnabas is usually my dark foil, so someone had to contrast Barnabas. And if Barnabas is the darker, quote unquote, darker side of supernatural life, somebody had to be the light side of supernatural life. And so when I created Dominique and then I threw in Gabriel, I thought, okay, so Gabriel is going to be this person that really protects his sister, and she needs him for some reason, whatever reason that's going to be. And then I kept thinking of how um, what he would do to protect her and why he would protect her. And then I came up with his name Gabriel, and I thought, okay, well he's going to be the guardian angel. This is her guardian angel, and he's there to protect her. And when she dies, he then passes that on to her daughter, and he's there to protect her daughter. So he definitely feels responsible for her death. He feels responsible that he wasn't able to save her. He feels responsible that he couldn't do better for her, even though there was really no controlling it. She was going to do what she was going to do, and it happened. So he has to sort of move on with his life and take care of her daughter like he promised.
I love I love Gabriel and Barnabas's interaction with each other. When Gabriel's just standing there, like he's like talking to Quinn 1 minute, and then he's like psychically linked like into Julia Hoffman, and he's talking, and then he sees Barnabas is like, you're in over your head. Like,
Yes, exactly. Well, he is. Gabriel has no idea what he's walked into. He has no idea of the connection between his new sort of love interest, which is Quinn, how she's connected to Julia, how Julia's connected to Barnabas. It's all really a chain reaction. And so part of Gabriel's powers is that he can sense people, he can sense good and evil really, and especially when he touches, he can get zapped into wherever, sort of like Alexandra. They have that same power where they can just kind of transport themselves to anywhere by just touch. And so when he touches Quinn, he automatically gets connected to that sort of portal that is connected to Julia because they're related, and Julia obviously is very open to all these horrible dark things, and that links him to Barnabas. So Barnabas is of course there, and he's just like, dude, you don't know what's gonna happen. So you be afraid, kind of thing.
it's like you said, he's like there to warn everybody, like don't mess with this
Right.
stuff.
Exactly. So Barnabas, throughout most of the series, is a ghost in a way. He's a spirit, and
Yeah.
everybody's freaked out about him. They think he's there to do some horrible things, and he's really not. I mean, he doesn't do anything bad throughout the whole series at all. This time, he's there as sort of as a warning figure to Julia, to mostly Julia. So he's there to sort of to warn Julia in a lot of ways. And so when Gabriel sort of gets full front and center with Barnabas. Barnabas is like, you have no idea what's just about to happen. There's a lot of darkness around here.
For sure. I really like I love how him and Quinn had this ended up having this relationship. You really you always manage to smooth transition in every new character or old character you create, and there always seems to be a great transition between these characters and connection. And I love how Gabriel and Quinn, when they kissed, it didn't shock me because Gabriel and Quinn are both very smooth, and I said before, and in my reviews, I was saying I thought Gabriel was Quentin because nobody knows how to Jones a woman better than Quentin. Well, I got to put Gabriel right behind him, but
Are you using someone's tablet?
yes,
That's someone.
yes, I know. But yeah, him and Quinn are just really smooth. And Quinn, I like when he winks at Quinn, and she sort of looks at him like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that.
I mean, he's her boss. She's kind of like, what the hell? He's her boss. What is he doing? But she likes him too. And she
Right.
senses that he's a pretty good guy. So yeah, and he's done some nice things for her. Picked her up, took her to work, gave her some coffee.
Yeah, I definitely love their interaction together. They're both, and I love what you did with Julia Hoffman in the last series. For those who don't know, John gave Julia a past, and I love just how you did that. They didn't really give her a past in the original series, but you did, and you brought it all forward with her and Quinn. That was just amazing.
Well, I mean, I always think that when you have someone as important as Julia to the whole series, I mean, even like literally the show is all about Barnabas and Julia for so long. Many of those episodes are about them and their time travels and all of these different things really, really involve Julia Hoffman. And she's probably more important than even Elizabeth. She has, as far as screen time and storylines and all that. And yet they didn't give her really a pass. They didn't really talk about who she was, where she came from. I mean, by this point, Grayson Hall's like probably late 40s, early 50s. So that's Julia's age, but we know nothing about her. So that's kind of not disappointing. Disappointing is not the word, but unfortunate. Like, we don't know anything about this woman, and she's a
Right.
badass. I mean, she's super, super powerful, and she's powerful by meaning like she's, she runs her own life. She's a doctor in the 1960s. She's educated. She has all these things that are really show that she's like, a badass woman. Yet we don't know why. We don't know where she came from and how she got there. And in those days, I kind of think about, well, this is just me thinking, it must have been difficult for a woman like Julia, quote unquote Julia Hoffman, to get where she was and not overcome huge obstacles. And
Right.
I had to throw in an obstacle for her, and her past was, this is Dark Shadows, so it has to be something traumatic and horrible. So creating that past for her about her husband running around on her, and her trying to kill herself after she snaps about it and accidentally killing him instead. And that's pretty traumatic, I assume, if it were real. So I wanted to give her something as traumatic as an accidental murder, so that we can understand why she kept it secret. We can understand why the show never explored it, because, well, I mean, for one, no one thought of that on the show, but you know what I mean. There had to be a reason why no one knew anything, and that's because Julia was so traumatized by it. That's sort of my reasoning why her past was so secretive.
My thing of it is, I could definitely see, like, as somebody who's like ran through the coffin box at like a maniac, I could definitely see, like, Julia Hoffman not telling people about her past, like, he sort of keeping that close to her vest, like,
For
to
sure,
to
for sure.
herself. She
And there's a
definitely.
million things. Go ahead. I'm
Right.
sorry.
No, no. It's. I was just gonna say it definitely fits what you did because it made sense. Like it, when I read that, I'm like, this feels like the Julia I've watched like growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, she definitely has a level head on her shoulders when we meet her in 1967. But how did she get there? There had to be some kind of, for me, somebody who's that strong and that sort of calculating in her own life. She's very calculating. She makes sure that everything is going to go right for her because she knows that things can go wrong. Why does she know that things can go wrong? Well, this is why. She killed her husband. She destroyed her first life, really.
Right. It's an amazing, amazing past and a hell of a connection. Um, I really love the introduction of Granger. We were talking. You wish you would have done a little more with him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's another character. He's one of my own characters where we don't know too much about him. And as I was saying, I kind of only give myself 10 chapters to work with. And if you write too much, for me, my whole like subconscious thinking is if I write too long of a chapter, people won't go to the end and they won't see the cliffhanger to the next chapter. And when they go to that next chapter, they won't really know the end. Anyway, it's a big weird thing that I've come up with in my brain as to why I write the chapters as long as I do. So giving that space and not having enough really room to write long chapters, I really feel that Granger didn't really live up to a lot of what I wished I could have done with them. I liked what I did with them, but I think there could have been more if I had more time.
I really think he's a really cool set piece. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's not one of those characters that you just throw away, you know what I mean? And you didn't.
Yeah, definitely.
You didn't in my like from my opinion standpoint. To me you didn't because you brought him in his goal he has his own agendas, but he's playing off of other people's emotions.
Exactly, exactly. He sees Siobhan as, well, he doesn't know at first that Siobhan is going to be the weakest link. So he has this group of people, Maggie, Sebastian, and Serena. They're going to help him get Barnabas back unknowingly. They all think he's going to close that portal and banish Barnabas forever, but he knows this whole time that he's going to try to get him back. That's his dream. That's his sort of like modus operandi. He's gonna get to see this creature that he's been studying through paperwork that he's inherited through David Woodward. So he has all of these different things that he wants to accomplish, and he's going to do it by means of deception. Everybody thinks he's going to do one thing, but his whole plan is going to do it another way. Now, he's gifted Siobhan, who is totally wrecked about her dad. She just wants to see him again. And as soon as he sees that sort of weakness in her, he traps her and knows that, okay, the only way to get Barnabas back is to throw somebody into that portal so it switches, and there's a cause and effect. Someone goes in, someone comes out. And then of course Serena is sort of the sacrificial lamb, and they choose her. But it wouldn't have gone that way if he didn't find that sort of weak link within Siobhan.
Right. As they say in Full Metal Alchemist, equivalent exchange, my friends.
Exactly.
But I
Of
really,
course, it doesn't go right. It doesn't go right for Siobhan either, because then she's the one that gets pushed in.
right? I love that consequence you did there. I'm like, and I was shocked when I read that because here Siobhan has put up, well, like I said, everybody's put up with a lot of shit, but
Yeah.
but she really like they from David, Carolyn, Maggie, just everybody just downing her dad to her,
Especially Maggie. I remember the dinner,
right?
the scene where everybody goes to dinner. Maggie was a total bitch to her. Like, she really wanted to throw that shit in her face. She was just coming at her at all sides, especially about Barnabas and especially about Angelique. I thought that was pretty funny, even if I do say so myself.
No, when I was read that, you know what I was expecting? I was expecting you to have like a cat fight between the two. When I
Well,
was
there
reading
is
that, I
that
was
sort
like,
of tiny cat fight, right? There's that little cat fight where her and Serena are battling to see which one of them is going to go in, and of
right,
course
right.
Dominique spoils it all and pushes her in.
But I mean, I really love her just emotional breakdown in this because it feels like that's just been coming. Like if anybody goes back into series 10, it's
And
been
Series 9.
in
In
series right
Series 9.
9 and 10 are the build to 11, especially for
Right.
for her.
For her.
It's just been,
She
well, you know what I mean with Barnabas, everyone down on Barnabas to her. It's just
Exactly.
been coming.
She puts Barnabas on a pedestal. That's her
Yes,
dad. It's her adopted dad.
this. I mean, she really is a lot. I know Quinn is Julia's biological daughter, but you know, Siobhan is really a lot like Julia too. She truly loves Barnabas.
Absolutely. She was raised by her. So she was raised. So my story starts. Siobhan sort of comes in at series 7, I believe,
Yep.
and there's a little bit of a backstory there. And so she was raised by Barnabas and Julia when they were in Singapore. So backtracking a little bit, Sam Hall, the original writer of Dark Shadows, wrote a little bit of an article for TV Guide when the show went off the air, and he wrote that if the show had gone on, Julia and Barnabas would have gone to Singapore and he would have been healed and blah blah blah. So where I pick up after a crazy storyline involving Barnabas dying in Series 6, I pick up that Barnabas really didn't die and that he is transferred to Singapore. So he's living in Singapore with Julia, and then how did I say it? Oh yeah, so he's living in Singapore with Julia, and then I add on Siobhan. This American couple that lives there, and they both die, and they adopt Siobhan. So that's sort of the backstory.
I really love that. Again, you brought that to tuition, and the, like I said, the sequence between Siobhan and Serena, just the little cat fight was cool, and I love how Barnabas just comes out and he bites Granger. That was just like I was like, oh shit, he's back. Like,
Well, he needed blood, right? He
right,
needed
right,
something to keep him alive.
right. But yeah, I was like, oh shit, Barnabas is back. We're all going to hell now. Like dog, I'll be honest with you. I expected him to come out of that portal, like at first, like pissed, but no, he's like as chill as James Bond sipping a martini. Hello, oh, hello. I think I lost my connection. Hello, hello, and I think I lost my connection. Guys, give me a second. This is what happens when you lose connection. Shit happens. If it's not what it's not. Stuff happens, guys, all the time. Oh, oh, be like lost connection. Let's see if we're gonna try to get John back here. Stuff happens. What do you do? Oh shit. See if we can get him back here. I'm still trying to roll because this thing could just start running. We're just having a bad connection. Let's see if he calls me back. Let's see if I don't know how we did that. We just oh guys, that's one hell of a night, I tell you. Here we go. Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh my gosh, did I ruin it?
No, well, I still got the thing rolling, so we're
Oh
good.
no.
We're
Okay.
good.
Okay, I hope you can edit that. I don't know what happened.
I can't edit stuff, but what happened was connection dropped on my end, so I had to hang up on you. It's a hell of this is a Dark Shadows video. We got 2 bloopers. Um, I'm telling you, it's something. This I really have a crazy history of Skype, but I'll tell you that at another time. But which is I swear to God, this happens to me and another friend of mine, Daniel Culver. We had this happen a lot, but
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I really enjoyed the portal, the equal exchange, the equivalent exchange. Granger, he was really obsessed, and even more. Would I be, you know, off base to say he was even more obsessed with like both planes of existence, even more so than Gabriel?
I think Gabriel is yes, you're right. You're definitely right. Gabriel is more. I don't think he really likes the fact that he can do those things.
Right.
It's something that's just inside of him, and he just can't. He hates it probably. He's definitely uncomfortable with it. And Granger is sort of the type of guy that has always wanted to do that. He's always wanted to have that sort of ability to be some kind of supernatural, whatever. So that's why you're right. He's super obsessed about it because he can't see himself as that, and he definitely wants to. And he's a scientist. He's a paranormal scientific guy who wants to know more and learn more and see how far he could go.
Right. I really I really enjoyed how you introduced him and just how Maggie is going behind the family's back. And again, this is like I said, Maggie and Siobhan, like the heat that that girl gets from everybody. Go back to series 7. That girl gets a lot of heat from people. And she's had enough, man, by this time. But
And
yeah,
Maggie too. Maggie thinks that she's doing a good thing. She thinks that she's helping them by getting rid of Barnabas. That's her whole idea. But she makes a huge mistake. She does not know exactly what's going on behind Lucas's very handsome face.
Right. Talk to me about, you know, uh, about India. Just a fascinating new character. Again, you always seem to create these new characters and smooth transitions. Talk to me about her.
Well, she's as for maybe those who haven't read yet, she is Dominique and David's daughter.
Right.
She is in her early 20s. She kind of comes to town at the behest of her uncle Gabriel, because Gabriel's main promise to Dominique, who's passed away, is to unite David and India. Um, Even though Dominique tried to do that earlier in the series, she kind of fails, and she really just wants them to be together somehow, some way. And so she's sort of in a way, she's sort of the future of Return of Dark Shadows. She's the connecting dot between the last 11 series and perhaps what I'll do in the future.
Right.
She's the bridge, so we'll see what happens. I mean, her journey is just beginning, for sure.
One hell of a mind blowing ending. Again, I love how she touches Barnabas's portrait, and that's how she's able to connect back to the past, getting his
Yes,
ring.
right.
It's so eerie, but yet like smooth at the same time.
He basically chooses her. I think I haven't written that yet, but I think Barnabas sees something in her that he decides, this is the person that I'm gonna. He chooses her. I don't want to give too much away. There's a little bit of wording that
Right.
I know, but he wants her for a reason. There's a reason why he latches onto her, and he takes the ring from Carolyn. Remember, he gives Carolyn the ring to give to his daughter Claudia,
Right.
but he takes it back supernaturally. We don't really see that. It's a sort of off scene. And he links it and gives it to India, and he puts it around her neck, and that's sort of the conduit that transfers her back to. Well, it's the conduit that lights up the lighthouse. She sees the light from the lighthouse, and it takes her back to 1966, the very day Victoria Winter shows up.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like, holy shit, that girl's in some deep shit now.
Exactly.
Because what I find interesting about it is, too, is everything, Julia Hoffman saying, "I'm the family historian," and in a sense, that's a lie. So every little lie that India's been told is really going to come back to haunt the Collins family if she chooses the wrong thing.
Especially India. Right, right. It's the trap, right? She goes to 1966, and at the end of the chapter, she remembers Julia saying, "Come find me."
Right.
Now she interprets that as, "Come find me," nowadays, in 2019, come talk to me if you need to know about your family. But what she doesn't realize is that she's in 50 years behind back in time, and she thinks, well, Julia's just going to be the same person. She's going to be, she'll be able to help me. She doesn't know that Julia has no idea what the heck she's talking about, because this is a full year before Julia even gets involved with the Collins family. So she's going to show up and be like, "Hey, I am so and so. I've been traveling through time. Can you help me?" And Julia's going to basically, she's going to think she's crazy. So it's a trap for India, really, what I said.
It's gonna be really. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I'm so excited for whenever you come back with this. I will be there with bells on. I will be reading this,
Well,
but
that's good. That's very reassuring, because I can't wait to actually get started on it.
so
Probably next spring.
is the is there any one thing you wanted to do in this whole 4 years? Is there something you didn't get to do?
Ooh, the 4 years. Wow. Yes. We talked about this the last chat we had. Quentin. I never really touched upon Quentin. I didn't really do much with him at all. And also, for this series, I didn't really do much with Sebastian. I think I could have did a little more with Sebastian and Lucas Granger.
I like how you were saying Angelique and Curtis were gonna have a wedding. That was
I did. I wrote a whole wedding, and then I deleted it. It didn't fit right. So instead of the wedding, you guys got the scene with Barnabas and Angelique sort of coming to terms with who they really are with each other. So that replaced the wedding. I liked it better.
I did too. I love the sequence when they're at Widow's Hill and Angelique looks back and he's just not there, and it's not a harmful feeling. It's sort of at peace.
Right. There had to be. a sort of, for the older characters, there had to be an end for them, and not an end, but there had to be sort of a calming period so that I can move on to what's going to happen with India. So Angelique is now immortal. She's a regular person now, and she's in love with Curtis. They're going to hopefully have a good life, but I doubt it because you know how Dark Shadows is. And Barnabas gave her his cane, and that's what he leaves her with is the cane.
Right. There's just been so much history, not just with these old characters, but you've created a whole new history with these new characters, and it's just been amazing how you've transitioned them. Is there any one newer character you wish? I know you said Granger, but is there any other new character you wish you would have done more with?
Um, in series 11 or just throughout the whole thing?
Throughout the 4 years, my bad.
Oh, let's see. Um, 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 I killed off Victor Reed pretty
Right.
early. That was in series 2. Victor Reed died pretty early. Might have done a little bit more with Victor. Kimberly is one of my favorite villains. Kimberly Grayson David's
Right.
ex-wife, Christopher's mom. She's great. I love her. She's like sort of like reminds me of kind of like a evil villain from the Bond movies. She's this psycho doctor that she does a lot of terrible things. I like her too.
I liked her. I loved Leopold. Even at like
Oh
Bard,
yeah.
Bard. Just I love this all. I love the 4 years. It was, and again, I'm gonna for those who don't know, I'm gonna go back and do a revisited tour. My review of the final chapter is tomorrow. Will be tomorrow after this, but I'm gonna do a revisit it for the Return of Dark Shadows once a week, and
Wow.
so yeah, once a week you'll be seeing me going back and doing these.
That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work.
You know, man, well, I gotta admit it, I have an obsession problem, but yeah, my wife. For those who don't know, I have a Dark Shadows Facebook group, and my wife's in there, and she's like, because I put the video of Victoria Winters screaming when they see Bill Malloy's body, and she's like, "You're fucking obsessed," and I'm like, "Yes, yes, I am." But yeah, um, God, I just before we go, I want to give you the floor and just let you talk about your blog. I can't thank you enough for this.
No, I thank you. Thank you for your support, and thank you so much for constantly being such a great, you know, everything. I mean, you've done such a great job, kind of steering me in the right way. You've been a great cheerleader, and I thank all the people too that have been there since the beginning, reading each chapter and sending me messages and notes every week. Sometimes where I get this really like, oh, I can't believe this happened. This is amazing. Or sometimes you get some people that can't read it right away, and they say, I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it, and they do. They'll come back and they'll say, I just got to chapter 9. Oh, it's amazing, whatever. And it's really a reassuring feeling when you do something like this. I mean, too, as a writer, when you put your stuff out there and you see that people are reading it, that's the whole point. You don't want to put something out that nobody reads, that it just sits there and you never get a feedback on it, because you want people to enjoy it. You want people to kind of travel to the little world that you've created and take away from their regular life and visit some place that they never would be, that they never would imagine. And when they see what you've written in their own imaginations, and it's almost identical to what you've written, that's just the best feeling, because that means that they understood it, that means that they felt it, that means that they are receptive to the world that you've created. So it's important, and it's fun, and it's been one crazy 4 years for sure.
But it's been a fun 4 years too.
Absolutely.
It's one hell of an amazing. I know I asked you this before, but did you ever see this? Did you know this was going to go 4 years?
No way. And it may go to 5th.
Right.
I might read. I still have some stuff in the pipeline for next spring. Maybe I'll do the India story. I don't know yet, but I had no idea. I started writing series 1, and I thought maybe I would do a couple more, and then it led up to series 3, and I thought, well, I can't really end it this way. So then I went to 4, and it just went crazy, and it's lasted 11. It's 11 volumes, so that's 11 series, 11 volumes, 115 chapters. I've written for 50 characters, 4 years. Over 87,000 people have read everything. It's a lot.
Listen, guys, I'm on Messenger with John. I'm on Facebook with him. I'm trying to twist his arm and get him to write a Halloween, but Oh shit. Uh, but I just think it's been amazing. Like all these characters, like you said, 50 some odd new characters. I mean, that's not easy to do what you've done here. 4 years, as dedicated as you've been to this, to the people who are writing the new series, I hope they're as dedicated as you are. Really.
I would really, I mean, I'm excited for the new series. I hope that they have the imagination to kind of play with what Dan Curtis's show did and not be afraid to add some spicy characters but also not to forget the old characters, because if you just have an old character sitting around the house just to have them, it's sort of a waste, you know. I hope that they are able to create, let's say David and Carolyn are in the series. I really hope that they can create the world around David and Carolyn, because really those two characters are the spine of what the Collins family is in present day, I imagine. So I hope that they really do that, and I hope that they're unafraid to create these things around the old characters, but and not just leave them there as sort of ornaments from the past. You know, that's really important.
Is there any one specific old character you'd like to see them bring back, or?
Um, definitely Carolyn and David too.
Right.
Those guys have to be in there, and Maggie. I think those three are the most important characters that they should have. They're the most important.
I'm gonna make a prediction here. The characters we see it start off with, you know how it always starts with someone coming to Collinsport.
Uh-huh.
The characters we see come back to Collinsport will be Joe and Maggie
Oh,
because they went to
yeah.
Wincliffe. We never saw them again.
That's right. Joe's alive. Oh, I didn't even
Right?
think of that.
See, and I know
Oh my
the
gosh. Yeah.
I know the actor who played him is dead, but they could always recast that character.
Uh, Absolutely, and that's one thing too. They shouldn't be afraid to recast. I know a lot of people are dead set against it. You know, if the character, or I'm sorry, if the actor is still alive, they really want the original actor. But you got to remember, these people may not want to act anymore. They may have different lives. They may just want to be retired and enjoying their life wherever. And to not put an old character like Joe just because the actor has passed on, to not put him in the series just because of that, I think is not a great thing. I think they should not be afraid to recast.
Absolutely, I wouldn't mind them recasting him at all. I think there's many actors out there who could play him.
For sure.
I'm trying to think of the one guy, but God, his name forgets me now. I'm getting old, but I just think I'm with you. Like, don't be afraid to recast if necessary. If you want to bring back an old character, I do think we'll see Nancy Barrett for sure. I think that's the one we're gonna get for sure because
I I think Nancy Barrett and Catherine Lee Scott. I think those two are going to come back.
yeah, I do too.
And I think if they do Angelique, I think Laura Parker, well, obviously won't be her, but I think they'll add her as like a cameo type of thing. I think we'll see a lot of cameos.
I do think we'll see like you said cameos. I think the older characters I think are going to be they're not going to be the solid foundation, but they're going to be the backdrop, and the younger people are going to be our main story. But the older
Right.
is going to be there. They're going to be there for them. You
Just
know,
like Roger and Elizabeth were, you didn't see them really involved in much of the stuff. You saw the younger people. I think Carolyn and David will be the Roger and Elizabeth of this series.
all right. I agree 1,000%, my friend. 1,000%. I'm excited. I know you're excited about this too, and I can't
Totally.
wait until we see a trailer. And as soon as we see a trailer, my happy ass is getting you back on here.
Okay, I will be there. I will be there.
And we'll talk about it. But I just, again, I want to thank you for the writing this blog for the fans. Like the 4 years has been just amazing to read. And again, I'm going to go
Thank you.
back and do this again because I enjoyed this. This, as a fan, somebody who just loves Dark Shadows, I appreciate it a lot. And you just took us on one hell of a ride.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope that if you guys are still interested, maybe spring 2020, we'll see what happens to India.
I'll listen. I'll be there with bells on. I'll
All right.
definitely be there for sure. But I want to thank John for joining me so much. A link to his blog is going to be in the description box for the final chapter, the final series, and the final chapter. You guys can go check it out. He's at Return of Shadows on Twitter. He's also at PawPrag on Twitter. He's on Facebook as well. John Phillip BettonCourt. Thank you so much, man.
No, no problem. Thank you so much.
You have a good one, man. Take care.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.